All right, well, good morning and welcome to day 82 of our 100 videos challenge. Well, back at work again. You can see by the wall behind me and the fact that it massively does not match my shirt. So, um, it's Monday and we are covered in snow in March. One thing I want to note that, and someone posted this on Facebook, so I'm gonna, hilariously use it here, is on December 23rd through December 26th, snow coming down is pretty charming. In May, not so much on those same dates. May 23rd to 26th, no, no. I ended up clearing, oh, what did I clear off it was pretty solid. Um, So what I did to be try to be smart was I started my car, put on the front defroster full blast, put on the rear defroster, and then worked on scraping my side windows. Thankfully, my defrosting systems work really good. So once I managed to get myself under snowpack, I was actually able to pry everything loose. That stuff happened to be this thick. That is like 4 and 5 inches thick, and it was solid. So I managed to get that cleared off, and got to drove to work pretty safe. But my dear God, it's March. What the f? All right, so today, one of the things I saw in my Facebook memories this morning was something from many many years ago, where I have a fear that none of my friends actually like me. I'm more or less just tolerated while I'm there, and but part of that I think is true for myself because I know a lot of people. My Facebook, I have like 1,100 friends on Facebook, but I think I could only really think that maybe, just maybe, a dozen or so might actually reach out to me to see if something was wrong or if anything is wrong. And I'm being very generous in that dozen marker because I've had things that have gone wrong in the last few months, and I've told very very few people about what's happening, because it's a matter of trust. I've maybe told what 4 or 5 people at most, and I trust them not to say anything to anybody else. And honestly, two of those people are married to each other, so really, if I was going to tell one, they probably would have told each other anyways. Um, so when I trust one of them, I trust both of them, and that's fine. They're good enough friends to me for that. But you know, even the recent events and stuff like that, nobody's actually reached out, and my brain goes to two reasons for that. Either what's happened to me has been widely spread through rumor mill and stuff like that, which is uncool because it's no one else's business to know except the people who are involved. Um, People are being respectful of my issues because everybody brings their own shit up in public anyways. So if it was that bad, people would, I'd just be shouting it out. Well, that's not the way I operate. If there's issues with my work, my time, whatever, I'm pretty uh I'm pretty private about it, unless it's just something I need to get off my chest, which is very rare these days. Um, but but the other main thing, but the other thing it says is, it's one of those things where I'm a popular loner. I'm liked by a lot of people. I'm not necessarily loved, and people aren't really that concerned with me or about me or whatever. And maybe and honestly, nobody reaching out to me, it tells me exactly what I need to know. I mean, honestly, that answers itself right there. Now, I'm an older person. I'm an older Gen X, and I was brought up in the thing of mind your own business. And every once in a while I'll reach out to somebody, say, "Hey, dude, you okay?" Or dudette, or equal opportunity, and just to see, and if they tell me they're fine, well, I'm like, all right, cool. Need to talk? I'm here, and I'll leave it at that. But because it's not my business, and I'm also of the phrase of don't let your own personal shit ruin anybody else's time. You know, which is probably why I have a hard time with the idea of therapy. And I don't blame anybody for doing it. No, if you need it, do it. For one reason or another, my brain won't let me do it. I just kind of tend to figure my own stuff out. But and sometimes that's to my benefit because I'll be stronger for it because I did it myself. Other times it's not my benefit because I'm stuck. But it's what Google is for, and not everybody is wrong on the internet. So I do my best with what I got, and that's kind of the way it works for me. So and this is pointing out to something I won't talk about publicly right now because I just don't need it. But um, it's one of those things like like I said, I believe I'm tolerated in most of my circles, but I really am not. I'm welcomed, that type of stuff. But you know, I guess it's one of those really dark questions of if you died tomorrow, who would actually show up to your funeral? And that is a really, really depressing idea because it makes you think, well, how good of friends do you have? I'd say maybe 20 people. Which, I don't need to have a huge funeral, but you know, I don't know. I what I come across. This was a few years ago, and it was basically saying tell people what you would say if you were at their funeral. If you were giving a eulogy today, you should tell the person all the great things about them that tell everybody the great things about them before they're not available to hear it. Something of that nature. I'd have to look up that meme. But because a lot of people aren't told that they're liked and they're welcomed and sincerely that. And I think it's depressing as all heck. Um, that the best things that are said to the person are after they've passed away. I mean, you never want to speak ill of the past person, but so you always want to say good things about them. But honestly, if they have good things to say about them, tell them to their face. You really never know if that's going to tip the scale one way or the other. But uh, sorry, kind of a depressing chatter this time around. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to leave you with that. And as usual, stay warm, stay safe, be kind to people you meet today, drink more water, eat clean if you can, have some activity, be kind to the environment, be kind to animals, and always be kind to yourself because if others aren't going to be kind to you, you need to be kind to yourself. You guys try to have a good Monday. I'm going to continue with my work today. Have a good one. May the force be with you. Cheers.